Good morning, everybody. Today we have Ms. Rucha Joshi with us who will be explaining the usage of various color mediums. We shall start our interdisciplinary session in a moment. Rucha ma'am, over to you.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome for the session again. So, today I'm going to take you through this quick tour of learning about colors, see how the color medium work, and knowing about various mediums that we generally use in our illustrations, in our day-to-day life. Probably someone who really likes painting or making small DIY stuff. So, it's really useful for them and just to tell you that I'm not a painter as such, but I just have like a few colors, few instruments with me, which I'm going to demonstrate few things to you. So till we kind of see the actual demonstration, I would like you to kind of understand how and what are the types of different color mediums that we generally use in our or we generally use in our painting mediums or creative mediums. Let it be like wall painting, let it be canvas painting, let it be fabric painting, and all other things. So I'm just going to take you in a quick presentation. Just a second. Please let me know if there is any problem the with the sharing of the screen or voice or video or anything. I can check the connection immediately. So use of color mediums. So we'll be talking about different color mediums, its types, its use, and like how we can actually do the demo of actually using it. So color mediums in a fine art context, color medium refers to the art material or the artist supplies used to create a work of art. Basically, it's whatever you use to make a mark upon a surface. So anything which is on the surface of your say like your sheet or your canvas or any surface. So it can be wooden, it can be metallic, it can be fabric, it can be anything. So these are different types of mediums which are there, and there is no limit to kind of use it as a single medium or a mixed medium. So I'm sure everyone is aware about these terms, so that it's just not related to fashion, it's just all about coloring or taking a tour about the mediums or colors what we use. So to start with, it's more like first is like oil painting. I'm sure you must have heard about it a lot many times. Known for pure colors, consistency, and distinct stain, oil paints are made from pigments with. One second. Is the screen visible? Is the screen sharing visible? Because last time there was an issue with the sharing of the screen.
It's very clearly
Yes,
visible.
ma'am, it's
Okay, okay.
visible.
Sorry.
It is visible. Please go ahead.
Okay. So it's majorly made from these poppy seeds, walnut oil, sunflower oil, used as a binder to make any of the color on rather as a medium of oil painting. So an artist might choose to use several different oils in the same painting to get varied effects. So these oils are used as binders when you make a certain painting or a certain say like a scenery or anything like that, or a portrait or anything. Acrylic, I'm sure about it that many of you have must have already used them. Many of you are already aware of these acrylic paints. So first used in 1940s, the acrylic is a unique paint that combines properties of both water and oil. So whenever you are using an acrylic paint, the best canvas or the best way to use it is on this canvas, which has a little texture. It actually absorbs the acrylic paint and the oil content which it has on this surface in a very normal, or rather in a very nicer way. So I will be showing you how we can use this later. Made by combining pigments with synthetic resin binder and acrylic paints, is known for its versatility and fast drying ability. So whenever you have seen acrylic paints, if you're painting a painting for today and maybe tomorrow if you want to continue with the same color, it's very difficult to recover the same quality of that paint which you actually use it immediately when you take out from a tube or a bottle, because acrylic paints has a quick drying ability, and because of that these drying of paints, they just dry immediately, even if you are using it in a palette or anything. So you have to be really careful with the usage of it, or with the combining of two colors and making it a different color. You can still recover by putting maybe like a binder, or sometimes it works with water also. So by doing that you can recover that color, but it's a little difficult to kind of get the same color when it's already dried, and the color entirely goes wastes. So be really careful with the usage of the acrylic colors. Because of its water soluble characters, artists can modify the appearance, flexibility, and texture of a surface painted with acrylic simply by adding water. Acrylics are also used in mixed medium works, as it allows for the use of pastels, oil, chalk, and charcoal and pen on the top of the dried acrylic surface. That's the best thing, or that's the best quality about acrylic paints, is that you can use it either on any surface, and also you can use it in combination with any surface. So it's the best color which you all can use in making like a mixed medium, or a painting which is having say like a charcoal image on it, or maybe like a even a poster color on it, or a sketch pen, or anything of that sort. So that's the best thing. Watercolors, I'm sure everyone must have come across this watercolor painting, or use of watercolors. Though it's the most trickiest, and it's most once, no, it's not trickiest, it's just that once you get a hang of it, you will understand and you will try playing with the colors in a very normal way. So since watercolors, rather it's the most easiest to tell you frankly, but it's just that you should know the technique of it in a very proper manner. Again, to tell you that watercolors are something which you use it very little. So you must have heard, if you have like any artist friends or any artist, people who you know already, who are older than you or something like that, they must have told you, or you must have come across it, that a person who uses watercolors uses that kind of a palette, or that particular palette, for years to come, because watercolor, they never dry, or rather they are very what do you say, they kind of continue to be there for like a longer period. Even if after 5 years, 10 years, or even 20 years, you remove a watercolor palette and you just put it in a binder and use it with water, it becomes really easy for any artist to start painting with a fresh color even then. So they don't get wasted, they don't get dirty, they don't get spoiled or anything by storing it in a obviously in a dry place, because they are watercolors. So watercolor is a painting method in which the paints are made from pigments suspended in a water-based solutions. Translucent and lustrous watercolors appear luminous because the colors are laid down in pure form with just water and very few fillers. Watercolor is an extremely old painting technique dating back in the cave paintings of some European artists. So it's just a history which I've kind of told you. On the right, you can see a beautiful portrait of a person, and you can actually make out that there are only 2 to 3 colors which are actually used in this painting, because there's a good mixing ability to the watercolors which is generally there. So pen and ink, everyone knows how generally ink is hardly used uh, in our, like in fashion industry especially, because generally ink painting is used on there's a certain quality of paper which is required for an ink painting to be done, or an ink illustration to be done. So pen, yes, pen, say you must have come across this term called stippling. So the stippling painting is a very time taking painting. It is it's very detailed painting, and it is generally done by people who are used to actually using ink and pen as a combination to make certain artworks. Pastels, everyone knows pastels are these pastel oil pastels, and they are, so there are 2 3 types of pastels. Pastels means the chalk. So pastels come in dry pastels, oil pastels. Uh, yeah, if anyone knows any other, please tell me. So they come in these chalk form. They are something like this, and I will obviously show how they look. So they are solid colors, and they mix well with each other. They are oil based. The textures have been used since Renaissance gaining considerable popularity and all these things. So pastels are created by mixing dry pigment, chalk, and binder together to form a thick paste. So this thick paste which we use is generally on any kind of a paper. They are generally not used on your these canvases, to be very precise. They are the dry pastels. Yes, the dry pastels are used on these canvases, and they can be mixed. Like there are 2 3 uh, sort of these hacks or tricks which you can actually combine while you are mixing these, or giving like a shading effect to the dry pastels what you use. Sorry. Soft pastels, oil pastels are known for their glittery and waxy textures, while hard pastels produce a sharp drawing material that is used for fine detail. Mixed medium, I'm sure everyone must be aware of this typical way of doing mixed medium paintings, wherein you can actually use a lot of different types of things, from sketch pens to pencils to your say like watercolors, to your dry pastels, to your poster colors, even your Staedtlers and all these other things. Even the poster colors. So poster colors are the basic forms of these bottles which come of especially the Camel company produces these poster colors, and they are really good to start with if someone is trying their hands on for the first time when they are actually doing a poster color painting. So if a person is a little, like a starter or a beginner, poster colors are the best medium which you can use. You can try it on your sheets, you can try it on canvases, you can try it on anything right now, and that gives you a good confidence of actually handling a brush, handling playing with colors, and handling colors as such. So if you're starting fresh, if there are new artists which kind of start they are starting their like a first hand drawings or paintings in this field, this is the best way to do it. And start with poster colors, move on to the chalks or the oil pastels which I told you. And you can definitely at the same time you can use Staedtlers. So this is what actually it is, like these are few mediums which are there and which we see are actually really famous for they kind of help you to move on from one medium to other, and then from, say, like, so these, I'll tell you the best part of the Staedtlers or uh, these pencils is that they are water soluble. So even if you've painted something, and if you have like a, if you just give like a water brush effect, so if you just put a water brush on it, they will really look like oil, the sorry, watercolors or even the poster colors if you actually give them a nice shading. So I'm going to show you all these hacks or sort of give you like a look of how these colors actually look when they are painted or then we start painting them. So before that, I would just introduce to few of the products which we are using here. So firstly, Staedtlers, everyone knows these are Staedtlers. These are Staedtlers, and they come in like a lot of shades of, say like, I think the maximum what we get here is, I think, 124 or something like that. But you can go on. Like, these are the colors. I'm sure. I'm sorry, but I have I have been using them for quite a while, so the box has been a little distorted. But these are Staedtlers which come. Also, I'm not sure if you must have heard about a similar product, which actually is called as Derwents. It's a UK company. It's a step ahead or a step above the Staedtlers. It actually works in a similar way, but this is a better company which produces some, I am sure, like some 72 watercolor pencils. So these are pencils in form of watercolors, which I will be giving you a demonstration. And there are hundreds of ways to do it. So that is one product, which another product which I'm going to show you. Then there are these. Sorry. Then there are these oil pastels, which everyone knows, majority of y'all know. There are a couple of, they come in a lot of, like, rather, it there's like, of course, there's a lot of, shades to it. There are a lot of big boxes you get in the market, and they are really good to start with. They're good with people who are the beginners of this, and once you start using them, they become really, I mean, your handling and everything becomes easy, and so that's one of the. Another thing was these poster colors, which I already showed you. So these are the poster colors which we will be using. I'll be showing you how they work and what are the ways you can do it. Also, these poster colors, if anyone has it or they dry it up, you can easily put binders in that and you can revive the color by mixing the binders in the bottles. So they don't usually dry. Don't put a lot of water, but what happens if you put a lot of water in these bottles, they really dry up easily. So don't put a lot of water, put binder instead, mix it well, and then combine it with water to get good effects. So another, last, not the least, but probably, so these are another colors, like acrylic colors, and they come in form of big tubes. They come in a lot of colors. Rather, if you go to Venus or these stationery big stores, you might find them in rather, there's a huge variety in the colors which you will see. And yeah, so these were few things I would want to show you. So I will start with the Staedtler pencils. I'm going to just tilt my screen. I have already kept everything ready, but if you are not able to see or something like that, please. Is everything visible here?
Yes.
Can you see the screen properly?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so let's start with the Staedtlers for now. So these Staedtlers, so I've just made these, lines where you can differentiate the colors. You can do it like whenever you're using Staedtlers, there are two three ways of doing it. Either it's only one stroke lines, then you can do like cross hatching, which is probably I'll show you in the side. So cross hatching goes like in a very cross manner. So the word suggests that when you're doing Staedtler shading, you generally have to do it in a crossways. So so that the color is nicely. Also, while using these Staedtlers, please remember that you cannot, you have to differentiate when you are using Staedtlers. Like, don't use it as those crayons which we used to use when we were in school or something. So, so Staedtlers and are more smoother than the Staedtlers. But for now, for the college use or school use or the beginners use, Staedtlers is the best thing. So this is how you kind of create the way. This is how the Staedtlers look when you do the just the Staedtler coloring on your canvas. So I'm going to combine two colors. One is pink, and another one, it's what I have taken is your purple color. Combine it nicely. Shouldn't There shouldn't be like a white background which should be seen. Also have like a, what you say, like have a proper pressure which you give on these pencils, because what happens, since these are pencils and you are painting it, the pressure should be really consistent so that there's equal sort of a pressure which is maintained on these colors. So that's my Staedtler color of the pencils. Now I'm going to show you how it looks when you put water brush on it. So there's nothing on this. It's just a normal water. The effect what it gives, it basically spreads a good color. It spreads nicely, so you can actually see that there's a good spread of color here. And whenever you want to do shading or give it like a ombre effect to your painting, this is the best thing to do. Use Staedtlers, because Staedtlers gives you that space of for you to kind of, it gives you a good watercolor effect eventually. But see to it that there's no like a, you don't use water in like a in lot of quantity, because that might spoil your painting. So that's how it looks. Also, another thing is that you can also rub the Staedtler pencil. If there is something, like, use your normal eraser, and you can also erase it wherever you like. So you might want to keep a different eraser for the Staedtler erasing, and then not use it in a different way. So these are another this is another company. So this Derwent company has a lot of variety in the colors. It has charcoal pencils, it has normal color pencils, it has watercolor pencils. The ones which I am using right now here is watercolor pencils. They come in a lot of shade, like I told you, like I showed you the box. So they are very much to Staedtlers. So just when you use it, there's an immediate difference which you kind of realize when you're using this, because They're quite smooth. They're quite basically the experience is completely different when you're using Derwents. So, like I told you, it's a little notch above Staedtler's. Nothing happens to this product. If you're investing in this product, it's a lifetime investment because uh, they are just fine if you like preserve it in dry and cool place. So if you're planning to buy these, if you're having them already, try and do some good stuff with these paintings, with this color, sorry. Similarly, a more smoother way. Like you can see, you know, like these are done by Staedtler's, and this is done by your Derwents. So obviously Derwents has more smoother way of getting applied on the on the canvas. So same ways, since they are water soluble, I'm using a water brush on them, and I'm going to just please remember when you're actually applying a water brush on these Derwents, or even for that matter Staedtler's, you use it a flat brush. Sorry, I don't have a flat brush today, but a flat brush is more effective, and unless you want to give or show some details to it. So there's a good mixing which happens here, and even if you're like, you know, amateur artists, beginner artists, there's a nice way it blends into each other. So people, if you start using these colors, actually people will not even I mean, they will ask you whether you are being, you know, using these colors for ages, and you know you have got really hands on it. So try and experiment with these colors. Yeah. So you can easily make out that the Staedtlers are more smoother and they are more stable. Now I'm going to show you the oil pastels which I have. I like I showed you. Since the box has been with me for a longest time, I am not. I mean, I don't have the wrapper of for this. Now, they actually work like normal chalks. When you are actually rubbing them on the paper, they give you know they give out this kind of particles which are formed while the oil pastels are made or manufactured. So this is the best way to give like a solid way or color to these, to your drawings or to your paintings for that matter. So they blend really easily, like I told you. So I'm going to blend blue or like a sea blue into a little white. Like you can see, there's this particles which they give out when you color them. So you just have to remove the particles.
Rucha
This
ma'am, I
one,
think screen is
so
not visible. Can you just check your camera, please, once again? If the camera is visible.
is it visible now?
Yeah, it is visible.
Now,
Yes, it is visible now. It's clear.
okay. So when you're working on these oil pastels, there's a little messy process which it happens because there's a lot of particles it gives out when you actually rub the oil pastel on your sheet. And then so see, if you can see this, just a second, let me just clear this. See to it that whenever you're cleaning the excess thing which it has already given out, you use like a cotton or just to dust it on a very light handedly, because they might stick to your paper, and if that sticks then it might give you a different color altogether. So this is how the blending of oil pastels is done. Now I'm going to blend one more color into that, which is orange. Whenever you are working on oil pastels, it's better to not do it like this, like perpendicular to the sheet, but at a 45 angle, so that it gives you a good effect and like a good mix of it, or a good area is covered while you're painting it. And then again I'm gonna just blend it into white. So these oil pastels are little so the mixing of pastels is a little lesser than compared to the dry pastels. So unfortunately that product is not available with me right now, but this is how it happens, and the mixing of dry pastels becomes in a better way than the oil pastels, but oil pastels is good to start with. So that's what about the color. And now I'm going to move on to these uh, palette colors. So maybe like acrylic and poster, you can say it as palette colors, because definitely it requires a good like a setup to it, like a brush, water, palette, and everything. So I'm going to now show you the use of I'm going to do one thing. I'm going to quickly keep this away, and I'm going to show you a quick demo about how we can do a quick DIY painting sort of a thing now. So I have this I have this small canvas with me. It's like probably like a 4x4 canvas, and I'm going to do a small quick mixed medium painting on this one. So I have already cut out this a circle, which is a normal paper, and I'm going to use it for my canvas today. So I am using a double tape on this. Just to tape it. I don't want the circle to move, so I'm just taping the circle, or rather securing the circle. And maybe it can come here. Just lightly press it. Now what I'm doing is I'm going to take shades of uh, shades of red, orange, yellow. Yellow, red, orange, and yellow is a poster. These are other two are the are probably the, what do you say, the acrylic colors here. So like I told you, acrylic colors sit really well when you are working on so I'm gonna just give it a wash of red first, starting from the top. It's okay if you can use a little water with it for it to blend and mix well with, or rather get uh, see to it that the color doesn't go inside the circle, because like I told you, they they don't use a lot of water, because the color becomes too watery in that case. So I'm going to use a sponge. Just a second. So this is normal sponge. What I'm going to use, I'm going to take red color on it and just dab it. So I want that texture to be made or achieved when you are actually making After that, I'm taking orange with red. There's an orange color on the same sponge. If you have a lot of sponge also with you, you can use a different sponge for different colors. But currently, you can also use brush to make this, but maybe the texture what you are getting here might not be achieved when you're using a brush. So since I want that texture, so I'm gonna just fold this sponge, use it from the other side, and use a little of my ochre or a yellow to it. So I'm going to use this color also, this yellow color, which is a poster color. Just a little of it. So I'm like I told you, it's all these are palette colors, and since all these are palette colors, I'm using them together in a mixed way, in a mixed form. It's a nice shaded way you can do it. Probably when you're using poster colors, you will require more colors, like like more quantity of color than the acrylic, because posters are water soluble, and the sponge already like kind of absorbs it a lot when you're working on this, when you're working, or rather when you're making. Yes, so obviously, so this is how I have done a shading. Now I'm going to remove this circle. Yes. And put it at the side. I don't need the circle now. I am going to just use this, our oil pastel, to just give like a refined look to this space which I have created. So you can do that. There will be a little color also which merging into your a little yellow or a red coming inside. So eventually, so this is how it will look. Now what I'm going to do, I am going to give this a little. So I'm using a black poster here. And with black color, you have to be really careful, because like I told you, this black color you can just dab a brush, mix it, blend it, blend it around. Don't use black color in a good quantity, because it will all spoil the way you have done it. Because black with black, you have to be really careful of what you're using. With your light hand, I'm going to just give them these branches, or whatever you call it, just to give it a, let it be really natural. Don't plan what you're doing. So this, maybe you can take like you can also use sketch pen, or your post your Stedler or anything like that. So it's not like It's not that you have to use poster color only, but since I'm showing you some mixed mediums, I thought of using this. Yes. So that's about it. Let's not overdo it because might just not look good. So don't overdo anything, whatever you're doing, and keep it in mind. You should be like a little think about what you're going to do, and then kind of see. There you go. So it's a little painting, a poster, a mix with acrylic, and to give it a touch, you can use sketch pens, or you can mix with anything else, and just refine it with oil pastels also, so that it looks really nice. Okay, that was all about it. Little try to make you all understand or make you aware or rather take you through the tour of color mediums from my end. Uh, Anyone has any questions? Any questions related to colors, of course. Maybe I can try answering them. It's not. I'm not sure whether your questions will be. Yes, anyone has any questions here? Akhila, ma'am.
That was a very beautiful session. I thank you for all the insights, Rucha ma'am.
Thank you.
Students, please feel free to ask any queries. You can type your questions in the chat box, or you can unmute yourself and ask any queries if you have, or you can also share your experience if you have already used any of the mediums. Please share your experiences, and something, if you have created anything beautiful, please feel free to share it with us. Do we have any questions from the audience? So I would now request everybody to type in their feedbacks about the sessions in the chat box. That would be really helpful and great. Thank you, Rucha ma'am, for the
Thank
wonderful
you.
session.
Thank you so much.
So that brings us to the end of the session. Thank you all. Thank you, participants. Thank you, Rucha ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you.